Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome. I am Damian Begay, and I am faculty here at the University of Montana School of Public and Community Health Sciences. And it is my honor to welcome you all here this morning. Unfortunately, we had invited an elder from the Salish tribe to do a welcoming, and she could not. So you're going to have to be content with me to do the welcoming for this morning. So. Tashkani Neuni Tahalapesh, Minasem Pakoshos, Ehenoja, Mamanipti, Menuetanosh. Good morning, everybody. So I am Manda and Rikara, which are two of the three affiliated tribes of the Fort Berthold Reservation in North Dakota. I was actually born and raised here in Missoula, and the reason that I'm from Missoula is that my grandmother came to the University of Montana on a tribal grant and a tribal scholarship and got a degree in nutrition and went on to become a nurse in the Indian health system for 30 plus years. And that is why I have always worked in health. And so I'm going to provide the land acknowledgement and call to action on behalf of the University of Montana. The University of Montana resides on the traditional lands of many indigenous peoples, including the Salish, Kasonka or Kootenai, Qlispe or Kalispel, and many other indigenous peoples, including the Amskapi Pikuni or Blackfeet, Nimipu or Nez Perce, Shoshone, Bannock, and Sishitsahumsh or Coeur d'Alene, who also relied upon their traditional knowledge and relationship with this land and this space for survival, both in the past and today. We acknowledge that education, health, and legal systems have led to the direct removal, oppression, and marginalization of indigenous people throughout Montana and this nation. The University of Montana strives to improve education, service, and scholarship for all indigenous peoples through actions aimed at respecting tribal sovereignty, empowering indigenous scholars, and creating safe learning environments for all students to live, work, and learn together in equitable and positive ways. So welcome to the University of Montana. We're very glad to have you here. And at this point, am I turning it over to Shannon or Meg? Shannon. And Shannon is going to provide us with some housekeeping and other useful information for your time here at the University Center.
Hello, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm Shannon Grills. I'm the director of Event Services. So I spend my time planning for events like this. So just wanted to let you know some housekeeping items. And then when I'm done, if anyone has any questions, just raise your hand. We can run you a mic and answer your question, hopefully, or we'll find you the answer. So you're on the third floor of the University Center, which is the student union. There's lots of activity in this building, lots of people, and the third floor is the dedicated conference center. So, and you all have this back wing, so you're mostly just see people associated with your group back here. There are multi-stall restrooms where you checked in, just to the right of your check-in. They are gender specific, and then gender neutral bathrooms we do have on the second floor, and then more restrooms on the first floor. So there's lots of toilets and bathrooms everywhere. We also have services on the first floor. We have our market, which has made to order coffee and snacks. So food will be available there throughout the day and evening. And then the second floor has a food court as well. As far as safety planning, just some quick guidelines. So we do have an emergency fire alarm system. You can see the red and white. There's an example up on the wall there. There is an audio and a visual indication if the fire alarm has been pulled. So you would see the flashing light, you would hear the alarm, and then there's also instructions saying please evacuate the building. At a state building, we are required by law to evacuate. So if the fire alarm does go off, even if you know you accidentally hit it with your elbow or something, please report that if you know you're the one that pulled it or accidentally hit it. But we do need to evacuate. So really simple up here, you would evacuate straight to your left and then down the stairs. This is the south entrance. If this is blocked for any reason, if you go to your right and head to that corner, there's also exits down there. If you're not able to maneuver stairs, we do ask you to not use the elevator because that could be shut down, that power during a fire alarm. And we don't want you stuck in the elevator. So this building is 100% sprinkled. Any area if there was heat or fire would be sprinkled, but you can maneuver just to the landing out here. Outside is an area of assistance, and then if someone could just let myself know where I could let the authorities know to help evacuate people down the stairs. So we don't want to use the elevator, and then that would be our plan to rendezvous on this 3rd floor landing. And then we just evacuate right here between the library and the UC. That's our meetup area. You would see people in a vest, so it would be my job or one of my staff to come and make sure everyone's out, and we do a full sweep, but these are the vests that you'll see. And then if it's too cold, you can take refuge in the library. So that's just a short walk over there. And then once we get the all clear, it would be announced all clear, and we can go ahead and bring you back in. So that's the most common emergency. But also we have some other, and I could leave this up here if anyone wants to see it, but there is an option to opt into our warnings on campus. So if you're here for a couple of days, it's not a bad idea. Your leaders should definitely opt in so they know what's happening. So there's a couple alerts that will send out. One would be emergency notification, and that would be a text. And that is when there's an immediate threat. So they're going to describe the threat and what action should be taken. And then the actions are pretty straightforward. So there's going to be hold, secure, lockdown, evacuate, or shelter. And so hold just means you stay in your room. We'll shut your doors. There might be something going on across campus. Secure means you stay inside, and we'll actually automatically lock all the outside doors to the UC. It's on a timing system where we're able to just lock everything down. Lockdown means that you need to stay in this room, shut off the lights, barricade the doors. And then evacuate, we talked about what evacuate means. And then shelter would be, you would stay in the room, and depending on the emergency, if it's an earthquake or tornado, we might move you to a different room with some windows or but again, my staff would come in this vest and give you instructions and help you. Other housekeeping, I forgot to mention, there's a water bottle filler right next to the restroom. So if you have your own vessel, you can fill that up with water. And that's everything. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, I was just talking to
About the wildlife on campus. If you're new to Missoula, you will see some wildlife. There was some deer this morning we were talking about. Don't approach the deer. Don't try to take pictures. And then if there is a more immediate threat, such as a bear, that will come through on the notification. So that is very common. So if you do get a bear alert, that's not uncommon this time of year while our bears are getting ready to hibernate, but it'll be very specific of what areas to avoid. And if you're in a building, you'll be fine. So, but just that I'd mention the wildlife as well. All right, well, welcome. And then our office is just on the 3rd floor next to the UC. So if anyone needs anything, we're happy to help.
Thank you, Shannon. And I am so grateful. I'm Meg Tracy, and I'm with the University of Montana Rural Institute. I'm a research professor here on campus and work across the state with partners on inclusive health. I just want to take a moment to recognize that what Shannon just did is model practice, that all the spaces that we share with people, we should be looking and thinking about how we all can stay in the space together if things are, if there's an emergency, and how we can all leave this space together. So Shannon, thank you so much to you and your staff for opening today with such inclusive remarks on how we share space. So, and also Damian Chase Begay, thank you so much for recognizing the space that we're sharing today and the history of the tribal lands here. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm just going to highlight a few things that we've organized with our partners that may not be as apparent in our program. So just to let you know that in addition to the fabulous program that our planning committee has organized with some of you, I just want to make sure you know there's an opportunity to go and tour the Rocky Mountain Gardens on our Western Montana Fairgrounds. That was an iterative process, meaning we met a few times with the original plan, not really having hardscape pathways to connect everyone to these wonderful learning opportunities at the Rocky Mountain Gardens, to what you, if you get a chance to go on that tour or ever get to visit that garden, to what we have today, which are fully accessible paths connecting to all those learning opportunities. Molly, are you in the room yet? Molly Anton has been helping us coordinate that and has really just been a champion for inclusive health. So we're excited about that. We also have an ethnobotany tour tomorrow for folks who want to go and visit on campus some of the beautiful gardens that we have here on the University of Montana campus that highlight Indigenous knowledge in using plants for our health. So that is tomorrow right after we end. And then starting at 12:30 tomorrow, we have our fantastic University of Montana pharmacy faculty and students who will be here to answer any questions you have about vaccinations. If you haven't had a chance to get your flu or COVID shot, they will be here to do that. Please take a moment to talk to our students. They are very interested in inclusion and better providing services with people with disabilities and disability partners. So even if you just have a question about whether you're up to date on your tetanus shot, they will help you to answer that. So they'll be here tomorrow from 12:30 to 3. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my longtime colleague on inclusive health, Stacey Johnston Gleason, just to share some welcoming remarks from our planning committee for the summit.
Thank you, Meg. Again, my name is Stacey Johnston Gleason. I'm from Ronan, Montana, and I am a disability advisor for the MTDH. And I'm also on the planning committee, and we'd like to welcome you and welcome any comments and anything you have to say, and welcome you here today. Thank you.
Hey, any questions from the group before we really get started? Okay. Well, I think that we're right on track. Is that possible with an event that I'm involved with? So it is. Do we have a plan for who was going to introduce this? Yeah. Okay, good. And now my fantastic, fabulous, wonderful colleague at the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services, Mackenzie Jones, with whom I work on the Montana Disability and Health Program. We're one of 10 states funded by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to work on inclusive health with people with disabilities. And Mackenzie's going to open our first presentation for the morning. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Hello, everyone. Wow, this is tall. My name is Mackenzie Jones, she, her. I'm a young woman, white, blonde, short hair with glasses. And I get the pleasure of introducing Chris Mackey, who is our first speaker today. And Chris works for the Lakeshore Foundation. We first met, I don't even know, but I started working here 5.5 years ago. And if you know Meg, you start to know everyone else in the field. And Chris is one of those people that just works tirelessly to promote inclusion and accessibility within health promotion programs across our country. So he's the Senior Project Coordinator in Community Health at the Lakeshore Foundation in Birmingham, Alabama. And Lakeshore is also one of the homes of the National Center on Health, Physical Activity, and Disability, or NCPAD. And so we welcome him here I had his presentation